cook kit. Couple options. I just upgraded from a Toaks 550 to a 750 with a bail handle. And the reason, the weight on my old 550 was 3.66 ounces, and the new 750 with a bail handle is 3.81 ounces. So for that little bit of one and some basis point ounce, I get an extra cup and a half and a bail handle. So I think it's worth that tiny bit of weight, and I'm not a gram weenie either. So I just like this setup better than my 550, and I'm going to move forward with this now. So a couple options. If I'm going 1 to 3 nights, I normally bring an alcohol stove. Anything longer than that, I'll bring a canister stove. So my alcohol setup is a Fancy Feast stove, the 750, and then I bring a GSI infinity mug for my coffee. And I'm going to show you how this all goes together. If I'm going longer than 3 nights, it's going to be my Toaks, a canister, a BRS little ultralight stove, my GSI infinity mug. Okay, so the interesting thing about that setup is you would think that this alcohol stove Fancy Feast would be lighter than this setup, and I'm talking without fuel, no fuel, just apples to apples, forget the fuel for now. The total weight of my alcohol setup Fancy Feast stove without fuel is 10.76, and the total weight of the canister setup without the canister fuel is 9.45. So it's actually lighter without fuel. Once we get into the fuel, you'll see that because it depends on how much alcohol I bring. If I bring 10 ounces of alcohol, which will get me, I don't know, I mean, probably 5 something days, that's going to get me to 21.92 ounces versus the small canister fuel 17.57. And obviously the longer you stay out with the alcohol stove, you're burning that fuel and you don't bring it back. But again, I'm not a weight weenie. I do like the alcohol stove. Let's get into this. Okay, so here is my setup. Basically the way this thing works out in the field is I have this little reflective thing here. I put this on, I start boiling my water, and I put my windscreen around it. So that's the setup. And then as far as housing it all, what I do is I take this little cleanup cloth, I put it over my GSI mug like that. I take my Fancy Feast stove, I put it in a plastic bag. Oh man, I gotta upgrade my camera gear. One hand's tough. Put it in this plastic bag. And when I bring fuel for one day, I have this great, I found this, it's awesome. I think it's a urine specimen test kit or something, but it's got readings on it. It's 3 ounces. It fits perfect inside that Fancy Feast stove. I then take my little 1 ounce measuring cup thing there. I take this whole thing, push it down inside my GSI mug like so. Mini Bic. I take the GSI cover, I put it on there, over here. Take my little reflective thing, stick it in the bottom of my 750. GSI mug fits inside, nice and snug. Put the cover on, windscreen around it. I use a rubber band and then put it in the original housing. And the total weight on that we already went over without the fuel is 10.76. Total weight with that little 3 ounce is 13.13. So if I go with a canister setup, it's very similar. Just get all the parts out. All right, so with the canister setup, basically I do a very similar thing. And I take the cleaning cloth, I put it over my 750. I take the canister, stick it right in there, take a Bic lighter, put it in there as well, along with the BRS micro stove. Tuck all that in, try and center it, because then I take my GSI mug and I go upside down with it, and it nests right in there perfectly. I then take the cover to the 750, I then take the cover to the GSI mug, and then I put all of that in this stuff sack there.